Hello, and welcome back to Speak English Daily.
Hi everyone, we are very happy to see you here today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English Daily, the place where you can relax, listen to real conversations, and improve your English step by step. I'm Anna.
And I'm Mike. I'm ready to learn something new today.
Great. Today, we're talking about a small English structure that appears everywhere in daily conversation.
Small but powerful?
Very powerful. Today's structure is be supposed to.
3 little words that can confuse many English learners.
Yes. Many learners say things like, I supposed to go.
I've heard that one before.
If you've said that, don't worry. It's a very common mistake, and today we're going to fix it.
That already makes me feel better.
Good. Our goal today is simple. By the end of this conversation, you will understand how to use be supposed to in real-life situations.
So not just grammar rules?
Exactly. We'll look at everyday situations and natural conversation.
I like learning English that way. It feels more practical.
That's why you're here with us at Speak English Daily. Now, let's begin with the basic idea.
I'm ready.
At its core, be supposed to means something is expected.
Expected by who?
It could be expected by rules, by plans, by people around you, or sometimes by society.
Or by your family.
Yes, families often have many expectations.
Especially when you forget something important.
Very true. Now, let's look at the structure first. The structure is subject plus am, is, or are plus supposed to plus the base verb.
So something like, I am supposed to study tonight.
Exactly. That means it is expected that you study tonight.
Maybe because I have a test tomorrow.
That's a good reason. Notice that this sentence sounds softer than must.
Right. If I say I must study tonight, it sounds very strict.
Yes, must often sounds like a strong rule or command.
But I am supposed to study tonight feels a little different.
It still shows responsibility, but it sounds more natural and less aggressive.
So people often use supposed to in conversation because it feels softer.
Exactly. Now let's imagine a real situation.
Okay.
Imagine you work in a small bookstore.
That sounds peaceful.
Your manager tells you that you are supposed to organize the shelves every morning.
So it's part of my job.
Yes, it's something your manager expects you to do.
It's not optional.
Right, but it also doesn't sound like a strict order. It simply shows responsibility.
I see. So if someone asks about my duties, I could say, I am supposed to organize the shelves every morning.
Perfect sentence. I feel like a responsible bookstore employee already. Good. Now let's change the situation a little.
That sounds suspicious.
Imagine your manager walks into the store and sees that the shelves are messy.
Uh-oh.
Your manager asks, weren't you supposed to organize the shelves this morning?
That question sounds serious.
Yes, because now the expectation was not met.
So what do I say?
You might answer, I know, I was supposed to organize them, but I got busy.
Now I hear the difference.
Exactly. We changed the structure from am supposed to was supposed to.
That means the expectation was in the past.
Yes, and usually it means the action did not happen.
So it often sounds like regret.
Very good observation. Supposed to often carries emotion.
That's interesting because it's not just grammar.
Right. It shows expectation and sometimes disappointment.
I think I've heard this many times in daily conversation.
You probably have. For example, imagine you planned to call a friend yesterday.
But I forgot.
Later, you might say, I was supposed to call you yesterday.
That sentence sounds like an apology.
Exactly. The grammar shows something was expected but didn't happen.
I like how this structure tells a small story.
That's a great way to describe it. Supposed to often adds meaning and feeling to a sentence.
So instead of just saying, I didn't call, I can say, I was supposed to call.
Yes, and that sounds more natural in conversation.
I can already see why this structure is so useful.
And we've only started exploring it.
That's good because I feel like there's more to learn.
There definitely is. In the next part, we will look at more real-life situations where supposed to appears in everyday English.
I'm curious to hear those examples.
Good. We'll continue in a moment.
I'm ready.
Let's continue with more real-life situations where we use supposed to. One of the most common places is when we talk about rules.
Rules like school rules?
Exactly. Imagine a classroom. In many schools, students are supposed to raise their hand before speaking.
That means it's the expected behavior in class.
Yes, it's something the teacher expects students to do.
So if a student starts shouting answers without raising their hand, the teacher might say, "You're supposed to raise your hand first."
Perfect example. Now let's look at another situation. Think about a hospital.
Hospitals are usually very quiet places.
Right. Visitors are supposed to speak quietly in hospitals.
Because patients need rest.
Exactly. That's a social rule in that environment.
So supposed to often appears when we talk about polite behavior or normal expectations.
Yes. Let's look at another everyday example. Imagine you are visiting someone's house for the first time.
Okay.
In many cultures, you are supposed to remove your shoes before entering the house.
That's true in many homes.
If someone walks in with dirty shoes, the host might think they're not supposed to wear shoes inside.
That sentence shows the rule without sounding too harsh.
Exactly. Now let's talk about plans and schedules.
I hear supposed to a lot when people talk about schedules.
That's right. For example, imagine you are waiting for a train.
I've done that many times.
You look at the schedule and it says the train arrives at 7.
But maybe it's already 7:10.
Exactly. So you say the train is supposed to arrive at 7.
That means the schedule says 7, but the train might be late.
Correct. Supposed to often suggests that something was planned, but reality might be different.
I've also heard people say something like, "The meeting is supposed to start at 10."
Yes, that's another common example.
But sometimes meetings start late.
Very late sometimes.
So when someone says, "The meeting is supposed to start at 10, they might sound a little impatient.
Exactly. Sometimes supposed to quietly shows frustration.
Because the expectation is not being respected.
Right. Now let's look more closely at the past form.
That would be was supposed to or were supposed to.
Correct. This form usually means something was planned or expected in the past, but it didn't happen.
That sounds like regret again.
Yes, very often. Let's imagine a situation. Your friend asked you to help them move to a new apartment.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is. You promised to help on Saturday morning.
But then I forgot.
Later, you call your friend and say, "I'm really sorry. I was supposed to help you move yesterday."
That sentence definitely sounds like an apology.
Exactly. It shows that the expectation existed, but the action didn't happen.
So, was supposed to often appears when we explain something that went wrong.
Yes. Let's try another example. Imagine you planned to start exercising last month,
That sounds like a familiar situation.
but you never started.
I feel attacked.
Later, you might say, "I was supposed to start exercising last month."
That sentence explains the plan, but also shows that I didn't do it.
Exactly. It often appears when we reflect on things we didn't complete.
So it can show regret or even a small excuse.
Yes, sometimes people use it to soften a mistake.
Instead of saying, "I didn't do it,"
Right, they say, "I was supposed to do it,"
it sounds more responsible.
even if the result is the same.
That's interesting. Grammar can change how a sentence feels.
Exactly. Now let's make it a little more personal.
Uh-oh.
Think about something you planned to do yesterday.
Okay.
Maybe you planned to cook dinner early.
But I ordered food instead.
Then you could say, "I was supposed to cook dinner yesterday."
That sentence tells the story of my failure.
It simply shows that there was a plan.
I notice that supposed to often connects plans and expectations.
Yes, that's a good way to think about it.
Plans, rules, responsibilities.
Exactly. All of those ideas appear with supposed to.
I'm starting to hear this structure everywhere in my head.
That's a great sign. When you start noticing grammar in real situations, learning becomes easier.
I think the key is understanding the feeling behind the sentence.
Yes, supposed to often carries emotion,
Sometimes regret,
sometimes frustration.
and sometimes simple expectation.
Exactly. In the next part, we will explore another important form,
Let me guess.
the negative form.
Not supposed to.
Yes, and that one is very useful for talking about rules and restrictions.
I'm curious to see how that works in conversation.
We'll look at several examples.
Good. I'm ready to continue learning.
Now let's talk about the negative form of this structure. This is also very common in daily English.
You mean not supposed to?
Exactly. The structure becomes subject plus am, is, or are plus not supposed to plus the base verb.
So something like, I am not supposed to eat here.
Perfect. That sentence usually means something is not allowed or not expected.
So it's often connected to rules.
Yes. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine you are in a museum.
Museums always have many rules.
That's true. In many museums, visitors are not supposed to touch the artwork.
That makes sense. Paintings are very valuable.
So, if someone touches a painting, a guard might say, "You're not supposed to touch that."
That sentence clearly shows it's against the rules.
Exactly. Now, let's look at another situation. Imagine you are in a library.
Libraries are supposed to be quiet.
Yes, and people are not supposed to talk loudly there.
So if someone starts talking loudly on their phone, other people might get annoyed.
Very annoyed.
Someone might whisper, "You're not supposed to talk on the phone in here."
Perfect example. The sentence shows the rule without sounding too aggressive.
It still feels polite, but clear.
Exactly. Now let's look at another everyday situation. Imagine you are visiting a friend's office.
Okay?
There's a door with a sign that says staff only.
That usually means visitors shouldn't enter.
Right. If you try to open the door, someone might say, "You're not supposed to go in there."
That clearly tells me I shouldn't enter.
Yes, so not supposed to often appears when we talk about restrictions.
Rules in places like schools, offices, or public spaces.
Exactly. Now let's act out a small situation.
I like these role plays.
Imagine you and I are co-workers in an office.
All right.
Mike, why are you using your phone during the meeting?
Oh, I was just checking a message.
You're not supposed to use your phone during meetings.
Oh, right. I forgot.
That short conversation sounds very natural.
Yes, I can imagine hearing that in many offices.
Now, let's talk about a very common mistake that English learners make with supposed to.
I think I know this one.
Many learners say, "I supposed to go."
Yes, I've heard that many times.
The problem is that the verb be is missing.
So the sentence is incomplete.
Exactly. You must always include am, is, are, was, or were.
So the correct sentence is, I am supposed to go.
Correct.
Or, we are supposed to arrive early.
Perfect.
And in the past, it becomes, I was supposed to call you.
Exactly. Without the verb be, the structure doesn't work.
So saying, I supposed to go sounds incorrect to native speakers.
Yes, fixing this one mistake can immediately make your English sound more natural.
That's a very useful tip.
Now let's talk about something interesting. Supposed to also changes meaning depending on your tone.
Tone can change everything.
Let's listen to a few emotional examples.
I'm curious.
Imagine someone promised to help you, but they didn't.
That's disappointing.
You might say, "You were supposed to help me."
That sentence sounds frustrated.
Exactly. Now imagine a different situation. You planned to leave a restaurant at 8 with your friends.
but they're still talking.
You might say, I thought we were supposed to leave at 8.
That sounds confused.
Yes. Now let's try another emotion. Imagine you forgot to prepare for an important meeting.
That's stressful.
Later, you might say, I was supposed to prepare the presentation.
That sounds like regret.
Exactly. The structure is the same, but the emotion changes.
So the grammar stays the same, but the voice and situation change the feeling.
That's an important part of fluency.
Fluency is not only about correct grammar.
It's also about expressing emotion naturally.
I'm starting to see why native speakers use supposed to so often.
Yes, because it connects expectations with feelings.
And daily life is full of expectations.
Exactly. In the next part, we will practice using supposed to in different situations.
Practice is where things become clearer.
And we will also compare supposed to with another common structure.
Which one?
Have to.
Ah, that comparison will be interesting.
Yes, because many learners think they mean the same thing.
But I'm guessing they're a little different.
They are, and we'll explore that together next.
I'm ready for the comparison.
Let's practice using supposed to in a few everyday situations. The best way to learn a structure is to connect it with real life.
I agree. When I hear grammar in situations, it makes more sense.
Good. I will describe a situation, and then we will create a sentence using supposed to.
All right, I'm ready.
Situation 1. Imagine you planned to wake up early this morning to go for a run.
That sounds healthy.
But you stayed in bed and woke up late.
That sounds more realistic.
Now, how would you explain that?
I could say I was supposed to wake up early this morning.
Perfect. That sentence shows there was a plan, but it didn't happen.
And it also sounds like a little regret.
Exactly. Let's try another situation. Imagine you borrowed a book from a friend.
Okay,
Your friend asked you to return the book on Monday.
but I still have it.
Your friend asks about it. What might they say?
They might say, you were supposed to return my book on Monday.
Very good. That sentence shows expectation and a little frustration.
I can almost hear the tone in that sentence.
Yes, tone is very important. Let's try one more practice situation.
Let's do it.
Imagine you are at a restaurant and there is a rule on the wall.
What kind of rule?
The sign says customers should not smoke inside.
So, using our structure, we could say, customers are not supposed to smoke here.
Excellent. That sentence expresses a rule in a natural way.
These examples make the structure much clearer.
Good. Now, let's compare supposed to with another structure that learners often confuse it with.
That would be have to.
Exactly. Many learners think supposed to and have to mean the same thing.
But they are not identical.
Not at all. Let's break this down. When we say, I have to do something, it usually shows strong necessity.
So it feels more like an obligation.
Yes. For example, imagine you have a doctor's appointment this afternoon.
Then I might say, I have to go to the doctor today.
Exactly. That sentence shows something necessary.
It sounds firm.
Now, let's change the sentence slightly. I am supposed to go to the doctor today.
That feels a little different.
Yes, it shows expectation, but not as strong as have to.
Maybe the appointment is scheduled, but I could still cancel it.
Possibly. The key idea is that supposed to often shows expectation rather than strict obligation.
So have to feels stronger.
Exactly. Let's compare another example. Imagine your boss tells you that you must finish a report today.
Then I might say, I have to finish this report today.
Right. That sentence shows clear necessity.
Now, if I say, I'm supposed to finish this report today, the tone changes.
Yes. It still shows responsibility, but it sounds softer.
It feels less like an order and more like an expectation.
That's a great way to describe it. So, in conversation, supposed to can sound more natural and less strict.
Exactly. Now let's look at tone again.
Tone always changes the feeling of a sentence.
Yes. Imagine your friend invites you to their birthday party.
That sounds fun.
They say, you have to come to my party.
That sounds a little forceful.
Now imagine they say, you're supposed to come to my party.
That sounds more playful.
Exactly. The meaning is similar, but the tone feels different.
So the choice of structure can change how friendly or strict a sentence sounds.
Yes, and that's why learning these differences helps you sound more natural in English.
I can see how both structures are useful.
Absolutely. The key is understanding when to use each one,
Supposed to for expectations.
and have to for stronger necessity.
That comparison makes the difference clearer.
Good. In the next part, we'll explore some interesting ways supposed to appears in questions and conversations.
I'm curious about that.
We'll also look at how people sometimes use it with humor or sarcasm.
That sounds entertaining.
It can be. All right, I'm ready for the next step.
Now, let's look at another very common way people use supposed to. This time, we'll talk about questions.
Like, am I supposed to do this?
Exactly. Questions with supposed to usually appear when someone is confused about expectations or rules.
So the person is trying to understand what they should do.
Yes, the structure is simple. Am I supposed to? Are you supposed to? Or is he supposed to?
That sounds very common in real conversations.
It is. Let's imagine a situation. It's your first day at a new job.
First days are always confusing.
You're not sure about the office routine, so you ask a coworker, "Am I supposed to arrive before 9?"
That sounds very natural.
You're not demanding information, you're politely checking the expectation.
I like that it sounds polite and relaxed.
Exactly. Let's try another example. Imagine you're attending a workshop.
Okay.
You're not sure if there is homework, so you might ask, "Are we supposed to finish the assignment tonight?"
Perfect question. You're checking what is expected. I notice this sounds more conversational than saying, is this required?
That's a good observation. Supposed to often feels more natural in casual conversation.
So learners can sound more fluent by using this structure.
Exactly. Now let's talk about something a little more fun.
That sounds promising.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm appears in many languages.
Yes, and supposed to is often used in sarcastic comments.
Can you give an example?
Imagine your friend tries to fix a computer problem, but instead the computer stops working completely.
That sounds like something I would do.
You might look at the screen and say, "Well, that was supposed to fix the problem."
Meaning it clearly didn't fix anything.
Exactly. The sentence sounds simple, but the tone shows sarcasm.
So the real meaning is the opposite.
Yes. Here's another example. Imagine your friend says they are trying to eat healthier,
That's a good goal.
but then you see them eating a large piece of chocolate cake.
That sounds suspicious.
You might smile and say, "Aren't you supposed to be eating healthy?"
That definitely sounds sarcastic.
It can be playful or slightly teasing.
I see how tone changes the meaning again.
Exactly. Now let's talk about another very common way supposed to appears.
Let me guess. Arguments.
Yes, this structure appears frequently when people talk about broken expectations.
That sounds emotional.
It can be. Imagine two friends working on a group project.
Group projects always create drama.
One friend feels that the other person didn't do their part.
So they might say, you were supposed to finish your part of the project.
Exactly. That sentence shows disappointment.
It also sounds a little angry.
Yes. Now imagine a more emotional situation. Two people in a relationship are having a serious conversation.
That sounds intense.
One person might say, "You're supposed to support me."
That sentence carries a lot of feeling.
It shows expectation and hurt at the same time.
So supposed to can highlight broken expectations.
Exactly. And that's why it appears often in emotional conversations.
I never realized this small structure could carry so much meaning.
It really does. Now let's talk about something very honest.
I'm curious.
People often use was supposed to when they are explaining excuses.
That sounds very familiar.
Imagine you planned to start studying for an exam.
But you didn't.
Later, you might say, I was supposed to study last night, but I got distracted.
That sentence explains why something didn't happen.
Yes, instead of saying I didn't study, you say I was supposed to study.
It sounds more responsible.
Exactly, even though the result is the same.
I think many people use this structure when explaining mistakes.
That's true. Let's compare two sentences. First sentence, I didn't call you.
That sounds very direct.
Second sentence, I was supposed to call you.
That sentence feels softer.
Yes, it suggests that the person had the intention.
But something prevented it from happening.
Exactly. That small change makes the sentence sound more natural in conversation.
I'm starting to notice how useful supposed to really is.
Good, because in the final part, we will connect everything to real daily life.
That sounds like a good way to finish.
We'll also talk about how native speakers pronounce supposed to in fast conversation.
I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't sound like supposed to at all.
That's because in fast speech, the sounds become softer. For example, instead of saying, I am supposed to go, people usually say, I'm supposed to go.
So the sentence becomes shorter and faster.
Exactly. And sometimes the word supposed becomes even softer in pronunciation.
I think I've heard something like, I'm supposed to go.
Yes, that happens in very natural speech. The middle sound becomes lighter.
That explains why learners sometimes struggle to recognize it when listening.
Right. When you read it, the structure looks clear, but when you hear it in conversation, it may sound different.
So training your ears is important.
Exactly. Listening carefully to natural speech helps you recognize these small changes.
And once you recognize them, conversations become easier to understand.
Now, let's connect this structure to your real life.
I like that idea.
Think about your day today. There are probably several things you are supposed to do.
For example, I might be supposed to finish some work tonight.
Good example.
I might also be supposed to call a friend later.
Perfect. These are everyday expectations.
So supposed to appears naturally when we talk about our responsibilities.
Exactly. Let's look at a few more natural sentences people say every day.
I'm listening.
Someone might say, I'm supposed to be working right now.
That usually means they are not working.
Yes, maybe they're talking with a friend instead.
Or listening to a podcast.
Exactly. Here's another example. Someone might say, she's supposed to be the expert.
That sentence sounds like there might be some doubt.
Yes, it means people believe she is the expert, but the speaker may not be completely convinced.
Interesting. So supposed to can also show uncertainty.
Exactly. Here is another everyday sentence. We're supposed to meet them at 6.
That means 6 is the plan.
Right. And here is one more. Wasn't he supposed to call you?
That sentence sounds surprised.
Yes, it shows expectation and confusion.
I can hear how common this structure is in conversation.
That's why learning it can make your English sound much more natural.
I feel like I've heard all of these sentences before.
Most learners have. Now let's review something very important.
The common mistake?
Exactly. Never say, I supposed to go.
Always include the verb be.
Yes, the correct structure is, I am supposed to go.
Or, you are supposed to arrive early.
Correct. And in the past, we say, I was supposed to call you.
Without the verb be, the sentence sounds incomplete.
Fixing that small mistake can immediately improve your spoken English.
That's a very useful tip.
Now let's give our listeners a small challenge.
I like challenges.
After listening to this episode, try making 3 sentences with supposed to.
That sounds like good practice.
First, make one sentence about something you are supposed to do today.
For example, I'm supposed to finish my homework tonight.
Good. Second, make a sentence about something you were supposed to do last week but didn't do.
Maybe I was supposed to clean my room last weekend.
Perfect example. And third, make a sentence about something people are not supposed to do in your country.
For example, people are not supposed to park in front of emergency exits.
Excellent. Saying these sentences out loud helps your brain remember the structure.
And speaking helps build fluency.
Exactly. Fluency grows when you actively use the language.
Not just when you listen.
Right. So practice speaking these sentences.
Even if you're practicing alone.
Yes, your mouth needs practice just like your ears.
That's a good way to think about language learning.
Before we finish, let's quickly recap what we learned today.
Supposed to expresses expectation.
It can describe responsibilities, plans, or social rules.
The past form was supposed to often shows regret or something that didn't happen.
The negative form, not supposed to, expresses restrictions or rules.
Questions like, am I supposed to, are useful when you want to check expectations.
And tone can change the emotion of the sentence.
It can sound frustrated, confused, or even sarcastic.
Exactly. This small structure appears in many parts of daily life.
Work, school, friendships, and even arguments.
That's why mastering it helps you sound more natural in English.
It's not complicated grammar.
It's everyday communication.
And now you're supposed to practice using it.
Yes, you are supposed to practice.
Thanks for learning with us today.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English every day.
See you next time.